What's up, you guys? Slim here at Team Symmetry, here to bring you guys the newest episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Yu-Gi-Oh! And yes, we are doing it on Fire Fist. This is one of the newest decks everyone knows from Cosmo Blazer. This is the deck that everyone's talking about. This is the deck that has already topped twice in 2 regionals, having won one of the regionals first place and getting top 8 in Arizona. Really great to see new decks coming out and doing so well. So I'm going to get into what I feel is, good and bad, and, what's busted about this deck. I had to do a little bit of research on this deck for the reasons that I had actually not seen a lot of the cards in person. I played against the deck once, and I really just didn't remember. It happened really fast, and then I had to play against it again today in order to see exactly, what the deck does. And I really like this deck. I have not been this impressed with a deck in a really long time. The reason being is it runs the way I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! It recruits cards, it gets rid of problem cards, and it just has pure advantage over the opponent. And it has a lot of just great protection, a lot of just great splashable potential with a lot of different cards and a lot of different engines. So what I have here for you guys is a template. I want to thank like a million people. There was over 30 inbox messages, Facebook posts, all that stuff. And YouTube messages in general that were sent to me today. I posted a status on Facebook asking for a template if anyone could send me one. So many of you guys did. They were all very similar. A lot of you linked me to the Montreal and to the Arizona deck profiles. I really do appreciate that. I just want to say thank you to everyone. You guys are great with helping me with these videos, especially with stuff that's new that I haven't completely looked into. But we're gonna get into this deck a little bit. This is just the template, and I've got rabbits in here for the obvious reasons for what potentially the deck can do. So the deck can take 2 routes. The deck can go pure Fire Fist, can running. I have on the side here all the different ones that may or not be run. These are what they have right now. Ones I didn't include in the main thing were Snake and Spirit. Those cards are cards that are going to be used probably in the future. The most busted card that'll be coming out for the deck, or so I've heard, is the Brotherhood of the Fire Fist is the chicken. It's funny. It's funny just because it's a chicken, obviously. But this card, apparently there's a loop with it, which is great. That's something that I know a lot of people know about. I'm not really going to cover that yet because the card is not out until, I believe, the newest set, which isn't coming out, I've heard, until May. So we do have a while. But what we have here now is the basis of what the deck can do, and it'll give you like a general idea of what will happen in the future with the deck. So let's start with the basics. What's good about this deck? What's good about this deck? Bear's broken, and these fire formations are ridiculous. A fire formation Tenki is amazing. I love this card. This card can be used in so many decks aside from Fire Fist. I have seen this in decks such as GBs. I have seen this in windups. Being able to get the windup rabbit so early is great. This card is just amazing. You activate it, you get a bear to hand. You can use bear's effect, sending it to the grave to pop a monster. That's amazing. Just overall an amazing card. Of course, Fire Formation Tensu is busted as well because this lets you have an additional normal summon. That's ridiculous. And I feel that that's something that gives this deck a lot of power, is that its ability to make rank 4s is very they're able to do it extremely fast. They're able to get a lot of pluses off of using the formations to pop cards. And of course you have Tensen, which is I think probably my favorite, just for the fact that I played TGs and I loved Tech Genesis so much when they ran Horn of the Phantom Beast. I love Tensen because it's a bigger freaking Horn of the Phantom Beast. You don't get to draw a card, but who cares? You get a big boost. You get the 700 plus you get the additional 300, which is really great. All beast monsters, beast warrior monsters gain 300 generally, and you select one of the beast warriors and it gains 700. So in reality, it gains 1,000 attack points. That's busted, especially during the damage step. That's what I think is one of the best things about this deck, is a lot of the cards resolve in the damage step. So Bear is great. Bear, you get your formation set, you pop, you're able to get your spells, which is you're able to get your 10 keys and your Tensus, which is great. Bear's just overall just the heart of the deck. Then of course you have Dragon. Dragon's really cool. This one gets you your traps, and you're able to send the other effects. You're able to send 2 face-up fire formations to the grave. You're able to target a Fire Fist monster in your graveyard, and you're able to special summon it, which is really good. And the ability to special summon is great. So you have a Monster Reborn effect. You have a monster pop. You have like a mini monster popping effect, and then you have Gorilla, which is able to when it destroys opponent's monster by battle, you're able to set one fire formation spell. So this is another one that gets you spells, and you're able to, send one again, and you're able to target spell or trap. So you have your bear to target monsters. It doesn't matter if they're face up or face down, which I think is busted, especially with all the sets people do in other decks, such as against like Yugioh, being able to pop the armor before it's even flipped is great. This is able to pop. This is able to be your reborn, and the gorilla is able to pop the back row. So right there in those monsters, you have answers to everything. You have monsters covered, back row covered, and you have a monster reborn effect. That is amazing for a general archetype in general. And plus you have, like I said, these formations are ridiculous. One being a recruiter, one being an additional special, additional normal summon, and one being just a busted freaking Horn of the Phantom Beast, basically, is how I'd refer to it. I really like that about the deck. I think that's what makes the deck good. The deck has recruiting power, the deck has brute force, the deck has a lot of popping ability. It's a mixture of some of the best decks in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Other things is that you're able to run Rescue Rabbit in it, and everyone knows I love Rescue Rabbit to death. It doesn't matter if it's for Dino Rabbit or anything. I just love the Rabbit in general. I think the Rabbit is just one of the cutest cards ever, and it's one of the best cards ever. And what I love is that you can run cards that have now gone up ridiculously in value. Vorse Raider and Gene Warped Werewolf. These two cards are your Rabbit targets. Generally, you run Vorse Raider. The reason you run Vorse Raider is that with these formations, what I forgot to mention, which you guys already know, they add attack points. The 10 key adds 100. That extra 100 is so important, it's ridiculous. The ability to have a 2000 beater in Vorse Raider, you're able to use Deck Dev with it. And Deck Dev is one of the best cards in the game right now for the fact that a lot of the main decks of the format, whether it be Mermails or Wind Up, etc. These decks run little monsters, so when you flip this, you're able to get rid of all those monsters like Dark World usually does. So I mean that's a really great. Deck Dev is a great card to either side deck and or main deck as a tech card. I've seen a lot of people trying to main deck it, which is really cool. I like it. Not only that, you're able to use other cards. Another formation that I'm not sure if people use it or not, but this is one of the formations. When I saw this, I was like, this card is great. Fire Formation Tenkin. It's like a Forbidden Lance, basically. You're able to target a Beast Warrior type monster during the phase. Its effects are negated. It's unaffected by the effects of cards other than this card. This applies even if the card leaves the field. That means that it's unaffected by magic, by spells, traps, and monster effects. That is busted. That is an amazing Lance. That's just like busted. Lance can't even protect you from monster effects. So I think this is a really great card. I don't know if it's ran in the main deck or not. I'm just going off of what I've seen. But this is definitely a card I would try to run because I think this card is great. The ability to protect your monsters is amazing. Plus you get a 300 attack point boost. All these damage step attack boosts are what makes the deck amazing because you're able to, like when you go attack, anything during damage step, they have no response. You activate this, it's like, bam, it's like a blowout. I love it. And of course, you can always run Horn of the Phantom Beast. Horn of the Phantom Beast is there. A lot of people opted not to run it, but some people did for the reason that it's another 800 attack. You're able to draw a card when you destroy a monster. You guys already remember Tech Genesis and how it runs. So a combination of Tensin, Horn of the Phantom Beast, and all these formations and everything just makes the deck ridiculous. The monsters are huge. You're able to get past problem cards. They're able to pop back row to get rid of stuff, and it's just an amazing deck in general. Now that's what I think is really good about it. I think the recruiters, I think them all having different effects, being able to get around problem cards is what makes this deck great, and also the ability to run a rabbit build that goes into either Vorse Raider or Gene Warped Werewolf to make your Tiger King, which Tiger King is ridiculous. A skill drain effect is ridiculous. I think that that makes this deck just really viable. It's really good against a lot of the decks of the format, and it has a lot of potential. You're able to protect these monsters. A lot of decks struggle because they're not always able to protect their monsters, but it seems to me that this deck is always able to protect its monsters with something. It's always able to back up its plays, and I think that's what's really great about this deck. Other ones are the Fire Fist Lion Emperor. I haven't played against this card yet, but I know this card's really, really good. You're able to detach and target a fire monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can't special summon that monster or monster same thing for the rest of the turn, but I mean, who cares? You do this, and then you're able to get pluses. There's a lot of pluses in this deck, which I really, really like. And then when you do run the tuner, I believe the tuner over here is Spirit. You're able to make Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, the Horse Prince, really great card. You're able to special summon a level 3 fire monster from your deck. There's so many ways to get these monsters to the field. I think it's just great. I really like that about the deck. So you'd be running the different ones. If you run this card, you'd be running, where are they? You'd be running, it gets out Spirit, it gets out Hawk, it gets out, what is it? It will get out Chicken when Chicken is released eventually. That card is really busted. Like I told you guys already, I heard about the Chicken Loop. I'm not 100% sure what it is because I'm not super familiar with it, but it's not relevant right now for the fact that it's not out yet. But it will be talked about, and I know a lot of people will cover the brokenness of this card. But yeah, but that's what's good about the deck. Now, what's bad about the deck? I was thinking to myself, what would hurt this deck? And, there were 2 cards that came to mind, and there were 2 cards that, having run Macro Rabbit, I run both of them. And both of them are Forbidden Lance and Macrocosmos. Now, the reason why these 2 cards hurt the deck so much is that Forbidden Lance is another card that, of course, activates in the damage step. Everyone that's ever ran Lance knows about this, and they know that Lance is able to turn off all these effects. It's able to turn off the attack modifiers, and it's able to lower the monster's attack by 800 as well. That's why when Rabbit played against Tech Genis, even with their Horn of the Phantom Beast, you were able to get past it, and the monster would, in a sense, lose 1600 attack because it would lose the 800 boost and it would lose an additional 800 from the Forbidden Lance because it would no longer be affected by that card. So Forbidden Lance is a great out to the deck. Now, granted, you're not always going to have Forbidden Lance because sometimes you need to use Forbidden Lance to protect your monsters, whether it be from Bottomless Trap Hole, Dimensional Prison, etc. The way to use Lance, though, is it's a very versatile card. You can use MSTs on face down back row, but when you're going against these formations, Forbidden Lance is great to, in the damage step, get over their monsters, and their formation effects are null and void for that time. So that's really good. And Macrocosmos is really good. I know a lot of people hate Macrocosmos. The world hates Macrocosmos. Everyone wants to ban Macrocosmos. You can't ban Macrocosmos. That would make the game ridiculously unbalanced if you did. But Macrocosmos really is good against this deck because the formations need to go to the graveyard in order to get these other effects off. At the same time, I don't know if a lot of Fire Fist players, if that's their main concern. I think their main concern is to get the attack boost and get over the monsters. So in a sense, Macro is not the greatest card against them, but it is an optimal out because if you have like a Lagia and a Macro, kind of the same way when playing against Mermail Atlanteans, you have control, you have outs to problem cards, and that's why these 2 cards are really good against this deck. So that's what would be bad, is that it could lose to Macrocosmos, Forbidden Lance, other things. I would say there's not that many things that are super bad about it because Deck Devastation Virus doesn't even hurt this deck. Like, I thought, okay, I'll just run Dark World. Then I thought, wait a minute, Deck Devastation Virus hits 1500 or less. All these monsters are 1600 or more. That's like, okay, never mind. I tried. But I thought that, that makes the deck just really busted. Another thing is that Fire Formation 10 key, a lot of people want to MST it. I made this mistake today. My friend goes, Fire Formation 10 key. I'm like, okay, MST. I want to MST it so that I can, they don't get their plus. But I was told is when the card is activated, you can add a level 4 lower, you're able to recruit. What was being said is that if this card's activated, you activate it, you'd actually have to like solemn it, or you'd have to negate it. It's still being activated. MST gets rid of it, but it's still being activated. I believe you're still able to recruit. If I'm wrong, someone please comment below, let me know if I'm wrong, but I was told you're still able to recruit because it was activated, and even if you chain MST, it was still being activated. So, not 100% sure on that, but if someone would want to look into that for me, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, this deck is going to be really good, you guys. I'm very impressed with this deck. I think that this deck is going to do very well at YCS Miami. I feel it's going to do very well at YCS Austin. I feel that it's going to just continue to do well, and as new cards are printed, the deck will do great. Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. I'm not 100% sure what builds people are going to be going with. A lot of people want to go the Rabbit build. A lot of people want to go pure Fire Fist, and I'm not 100% sure what's better. I myself am probably going to try both builds just to see what I'm comfortable with. I feel that it is a great deck, though, and it's definitely something I would look into making because I think that, all the formations are common, rare, etc., or just they're mostly all common, I believe. And a lot of these monsters, aside from Bear, the real money cards in the deck are Bear and the Tiger King, and maybe I don't even think Lion Emperor is that expensive yet. But the deck's not what I call budget, but it's not a super expensive deck. If you are running the vanilla build, though, watch out because Vorse Raider went up a lot. Like, I've been hearing Vorse Raider is like ridiculously expensive. That card that SKYPE used. It's a card that SKYPE used. If you ever played the video games on the DS, he always summoned this card like first turn. Like, kind of cool to be able to open Voice Raider every game. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I really like this deck. I would like to hear people's feedback. What do you feel is the best route? I guess that's the question you guys can answer in the comments below. What is the best route for Fire Fist? Is it to go pure Fire Fist, or is it to go the Rabbit build? Because the ability to, you can always Veiler the Rabbit, and then the Rabbit is kind of null and void, and the deck doesn't run Tour Guide, so you're not able to get the Rabbit back. You are able to make Leviair through the use of your, if you run like the level 3 Fire Fist monsters, but I feel, why would you want to do that? I feel that the deck has enough power in itself, and the ability to make rank 4s is really, really good. But if you guys want to comment below and let me know what you guys think, I'd really appreciate it. Thumbs up this video. Let me know what you guys want to see next on this segment. I'm back in school now, so it's a little bit harder for me to upload videos every day, but I am going to try my best to get multiple videos out a week. So just comment below what you guys want to see next. I'm going to try. I have a lot of collabos I have to do. I have at least 3 or 4 collabos that I need to work on. So anyone who sees this video, if you sent me a video, I am going to work on my part as soon as I get some time, just adjusting back to school, because having not gone for like 6 weeks on break, it's kind of hard to get back into the swing of things. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thumbs it up. Please leave your feedback below on Fire Fist. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope that the deck will do very well. I know the deck will do very well in the future. So, thumbs it up, and thank you for watching.